Hi, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you may be listening and you get to watch this video. You're welcome to Aspire with Adela from the from the staple of Unleashed Women podcast. I want to yeah, I want to thank God for this opportunity. I want to sincerely thank everyone and anyone that is able to join. I want to say that this day, today exactly, it is special to me. And one of the reasons why I decided to still go on with this broadcast, regardless of how many people choose to turn up, is like I'm giving myself a push. I'm giving myself a push. I'm giving myself a push. And how do I mean by that? It's like, if you have a goal and a vision in your life, or you I hope you can hear me. Please, can you hear me? Can you put it in the chat if you can hear me? Please, I would like to know, because I'm trying to mute myself and I don't know if it's actually, yeah. Please, divinely favored, please, can you hear me? All right, thank you very much. So let me just do this as a backup and record in case. Yeah, so I don't lose the audio. I'm so grateful. I don't know if I've met you or not, but I'm just this week, and in fact, the times that we are living in, that is why I titled this short talk, the fact that how to remain present and how to remain determined and positive, how to remain present and positive in the times that we're living in. I want to first and foremost thank God for the opportunity of life, because yesterday precisely I was a year older, and I am 45 years old by the grace of God. And the only thing I can see is the hand of God upon my life and all that he has done. But apart from that, I remember year 2000 during pandemic. I remember last year, every week of my birthday, I always celebrate it and go live and do special training, or just look for how I can impact my environment or whatever I can do just to lay credence to the future that I believe in. I have been somebody that I have experienced so many negative setback in the past. In fact, that a year ago from now, I can tell you, if you say I am still going to be strong and be the one talking, and one of the reasons that it's like my life got folded. And I decided I would do this in just to tell myself and to challenge myself that it is not going to be the end, that this will not be my end, that I am going to make up my mind and continue to do this, because I believe there's something that is going to happen if I don't give up. And in that group of Praise Forward, to some of us that know Pastor Praise, see, I got my motivation back during the week. There was a program that was happening, and then I was unable to focus. I was having so many distractions in life, but I summoned courage and I decided I will not let this week go. I even did that invitation. It's like I was fighting against negative self-talk, like, Diola, you can't do anything again, forget it. It's gone. You are no more. Just leave yourself. I have a YouTube channel. I do this personal development training. I believe that there is more to our life as women than just giving birth, having joy, or having jobs that is well paid, and every of those things that we do. So every time that I have this realization and I am in the States, I have always make up my mind that to anybody that gets to listen, that I'm going to look for how I can use my life and my testimony and my story and everything that have really worked in my life. I will use this space to teach. And I want to be sincerely grateful to God. See, this week, someone posted in that group that he's been attending a conference. And I want to tell you of a truth. That conference 2 years ago, I attended it and I joined the program. In fact, the program was $1997 US dollars. I don't know how I succeeded in paying for that thing. And I want to tell you that same guy, Dean, Tony, Ben Drumbochard, and every of those speakers, they motivated me. They made me see that my life is more beautiful than what it is in the moment. And that the only thing that I can do is to never listen to those things that my brain keep telling me to be the reality. And I should forget my past. I should focus on the present that I have and a little bit about my past so that you can appreciate how we all need to fight against every of those. Can you imagine you sitting at home for 7 years to just write WAEC and JAM to have gain entrance into the university? That was my case when I finished my ordinary level school leaving certificate. And during those periods, you can imagine what will be going on in your life. I was already believing that negative thing, that I am not good for nothing. I don't have what it takes to succeed. I cannot even afford to, even when I see my equals, when I see them coming this way, I take the other side. In fact, as a matter of fact, eventually when I passed, the year I left the they were leaving the university, that year was when I was gaining admission back into the university. And for that inferiority complex and imposter syndrome, how you will be able to fight it now getting into the university, at the end of the day, how you manage to study a course that you don't even have a flair for, and life just happened like that. And fast forward to how God started with me. And I was ruffling everything, finished the degree. And to God's glory, I even went for a master's, which I never thought would be possible. I did everything. I found myself here in the States. Let me summarize my story. Well, after the States, I have a business idea of joining somebody that I know is well respectable. We decided to join hands together to do a business. And do you know the funniest thing? Where we decided to do that business was the country that is at war now, Ukraine. There was a real estate business that we've studied and we saw that it's going to, and now all the money that is in that business, I cannot even cry. I don't want to even say the figure. Apart from that, a family member that's very close to me also did something that I cannot even imagine that got me to almost back to zero. You can imagine when you are looking at your credit and you are seeing negative. I was almost in the pit, bottom pit. You can imagine from pandemic to the endemic and to the reality of this R recession, all this R word that you can imagine, recession, political divide, inflation, everything. And for me, since the beginning of the year, I can tell you, without missing word, I am one of the luckiest human beings to be on earth, that I'm favored. And to be doing this, I am awakening the giant in me. And I want to share with you, friends, whatever the place or where you have found yourself now, I want you to know it. And I want you to believe it in yourself, that you have what it takes. You have what it takes to be whoever God has destined you to be. And that you should never settle for life as acceptable standard. That standard is not what God has given to you. That you have the potential. You have the innate ability. You have been given. You have been endowed by God. And that you should never allow anyone to redefine you based on what is happening in your life at the moment. That is not your end. So I thank God for the opportunity to make progress. And the progress I'm making today is that after going through those periods in my life, there are certain things that got folded. But I want to share this truth with you. During those periods I was going through minus what have you in my account, somebody from nowhere listened to my podcast. And during that podcast, I shared how I got an invitation to attend a honorary award in the White House. That singular event I attended in the month of March during the International Women's Day celebration. I was at the White House. I was at the speakers conference room, and 20 distinguished women were decorated. And there are 2 Nigerians in that hall, and one of them got me the invitation. I don't even know the awardee. I don't know her from nowhere. Somebody that knew her said, I have a friend that loves to do stuff that has to do with women, and I would like to extend this invitation to her. And here, behold, I have been in the state for over 5 years now. I've not stepped into the US, into the White House, not even for excursion or sightseeing. But the first invitation came free of charge to attend an event. That made me to know that in your even lowest moment, everything you do it with intention and do it with purpose, because you don't know who is watching and who is listening, and you can never tell where that thing can take you to. And can I tell you, part of my effort in growing myself after the pandemic and trying to add skills, because one of the things we have been taught, even Praise PF taught us, that if you want to remain relevant in your generation, you must be willing to solve problems. And how do you solve problems? You identify needs around you. And I decided to upgrade my coaching skill and my training skills. I went for a certification. I passed that certification. So I was preparing to apply for any job that will likely position me to be able to do more of this thing that I love to do. And in that class, we had a Zoom session, and there was a breakout session. And in one of those students that we were together in that breakout session, she told me some of what she's doing, and I also introduced her that before now, this is who I am and this is what I do. And luckily, we connected afterwards, and I shared some of my social media profile, and she listened to the podcast. And she said, wow, you do this? I would love you to coach me. I just look at her like, play, to coach you? Hey, I thought she was not serious. The following week, we connected again. Okay, I just gave her something. Okay, if you're serious, pay this amount. I short praised myself. Can you imagine? You want to coach somebody for 12 weeks? I told her to pay $200, like 6 weeks, $100, and she obliged. But I did not know. But thank God for the intention, and thank God because I did it. I over-delivered. So every week we do twice, because she wanted it to be shortened. So twice I coach her 1 hour, and the title of the coaching was just growth in life mastery. How you can master yourself, how you can be personally developed, how you can identify those gaps in your life. You know where you're going, and you feel you need help to guide you, for consistency in that journey. And do you know, to the glory of God, we finished that class upper week of July, the week before the ending of July. Do you know what the lady told me? She told me, I cannot lie, I don't want this class to end. She said she will want me to coach her for the rest of the year, and that I should just give her the bill. This time around, I did my own work well. I prepared the bill. The bill is running to 2,000. She said she will pay. And in this month of August, see, that is why I want to encourage you. This month of August is my month, and my first week, I got that client from the least expected place, from a least expected person, that we're both aspiring to get this job. And I will have thought maybe she may not be able to afford it. And see, so when somebody posted something on Praise Forward platform, it was like I was fighting against who I used to do. Every week I have a podcast that I go live, I teach. I have a YouTube channel that I go live and teach. I do all of this thing, but it's like the situation that came upon me wanted to silence me. So even today, I was almost going to say I will not do this. I did not want to share the link. I said nobody's going to come. That thought I was fighting against it. That even if nobody will come, I am going to go live. I will still teach. I will do it, and I will encourage myself that this is who I am. This is me. And that nobody can say where this will take me. Only I just need to be consistent. And I want to encourage you in the midst of recession, in the midst of inflation, in the midst of pandemic, and whatever the name. I want you to know, friends, don't allow your past to define your future. You have a glorious one. There's more in your future There is more that tomorrow holds for you and I if we never give up. If we try and give ourselves the necessary push, if we just take a little step above our comfort zone, if we can just decide to serve our cause, that to make our God proud, that, oh, in this world, there is a reason why I am here, and I will never allow anything to stop me from achieving that purpose. And I want to encourage you, friends, even though we are just 3 here, to give all yours, to allow every noise that is playing in your head, not to give them the chance to stop that still small voice. You know, there is this still small voice, that is the real you talking inside. That is the real you telling you, you are a giant, you are a king, you are a queen, you are meant for more. There is more to your life than that 9 to 5. You can expand, you can become the best in your sphere of influence. You can get the best out of what God has called you into. And thank you very much, Divine, for the wishes. I appreciate you. Thank you. So I want you to now promise yourself, what decision, what promise are you going to make for yourself in this coming year? This is my own new year. Starting from yesterday, I just entered a new year. I want you to just imagine, okay, for the rest of the year, we have like 5 months to go. What promise would you want to make to yourself that I am making this commitment to myself? That between now, 5 years from now, when I will look back to today, I will have positioned myself to be one of the best female speakers in the immigrant world, in the North America, or in the city of Baltimore. I live here in Maryland, you know, and I am going to be committing myself to going into coaching, to go and learn the skill, to perfect it, and to start. Thank you very much. So whatever you have decided to do, I want you to open and make up your mind to do what? To do it, because you don't know who, and you don't know when, you don't know how it's going to end. And you don't even know who you will be introduced to. That will be the people that God is going to be using to lift you and elevate you to your greatness. I want to say again, what is that thing that you feel you are stuck? If you look at yourself in the past 1 week, what commitment did you make to yourself? Is there any decision you are trying to make or you are struggling to make? And you kind of need somebody to just hold your hand, or you need something that will take you out of that state that keep telling you you are not able, you cannot do it. I am here to encourage you, friend, that you are more than enough, and that you can do much more than you can ever imagine or think, if you can just hold on more. I want to thank you for the past few days that I've started. I want you to see something that I have really applied that is working for me, and that is this truth. Many of us, we have heard of the law of attraction. The law of attraction tells us that anything you want, just imagine it, just speak it, just see yourself in it. And if you can just see yourself more into it, begin to picture yourself in that space, begin to picture yourself in that space, begin to do those things, and you know that thing is just going to happen. Today, I want to just, if this is the only thing you take away from this meeting, I want you to just lay hold onto it. And that is the law of action. That no matter how you practice the law of attraction, the law of attraction, the law of attraction, the law of action will take you. The law of action will deliver that thing. The law of action will give you into your hand. So every time you are stuck in your brain, you have an idea. There is something inside of you. There is something inside of you that is telling you you can do something. But you are not giving yourself you cannot give yourself that power. I want to challenge you that every time you have something in your head telling you cannot do something, I want you to know that that is not God. And that is not who you truly are. And those are the limiting self-talk, limiting belief system that we have been used to because of our background, because of how we are brought up. That, nobody in your family have done this. You, forget about it. Those are the limiting beliefs that brings us about in a state of being stuck. And every time you don't take a decision, if you don't take a decision and you keep saying, it's not happening, it's not possible, that will be the end of that thing. I want to encourage us to begin to marry your law of attraction with the law of action. And how do I mean by the law of action? That you begin to see who are the people that are doing this in my world. Who are the people that are doing this in my world that I can emulate, that I can look at them and they can become my guiding light, that they can give me a helping hand. Make a decision to commit to seeing them. Make a decision to go in to work with them. Decide that this year, 2022, is not going to end on the same way it started for you. That it's like, don't encourage that thought. Don't be a dabbler. I say, maybe or maybe not. Put your whole heart into it. Even the world is going through recession, whatever it is they are going through. Come up with a thought and idea that I am going to have a way out of this. I am going to make a decision. I am going to make a decision to do what? To bring the best, to do my best, regardless what is happening around me. And I want to encourage you and tell you that you will be amazed. You will be amazed at what and who you will become. And that is my encouragement to you. And I just want to challenge you, friends. Whatever it is that is your reality at the moment, that is not you. This is the you that you have become, and this is the you have believed. And if you want to see you, the real you that you want, it is high time you begin to show up. And how do I mean by showing up? It is time for you to begin to see the ultimate success and to begin to see how you will begin to improve on your personal development journey, on your way of life. What are those habits? What are those things that will give you inspiration? Who are those communities and those spheres that you need to begin to go with that will help you in this journey and in this decision? And then when it comes to you taking decision, and you are not the person that drags your feet, that you're not the type that will give yourself a word and you will not work with it. And one of the things you start to do is to begin to keep your promise to yourself. That if you have promised yourself anything, if there's anything you have told yourself you are going to do, to start doing it. And I want to say, I don't want to take this more than in 5 minutes, I will be rounding up. And I want to just say that if there's anything you want to know, we are living in a difficult times and season, and it is glaring. We can see the signs all over the world. Political divide, recession, inflation, depression, pandemic, endemic. It's like the 2 years ago has just been, it has thrown every one of us off our track, off our plan, off what we even expect. But in the midst of it still, there are people that are still making calculated decisions, that are fast decision maker, and they are looking inward and seeing what are those things that can really still deliver. Even in the midst of all this, people still need to do online shopping. People still need to shop. People still need to live. You can see the signs. So it is a question of us coming to see where are those indicators? What are those signs? What are those opportunities that these signs and this period has given to us? And how can we divorce our stories of limitation to begin to embrace the possibilities that this season and this new world is bringing to us, and then see how we can change? Friends, this is the decision we need to take. And I encourage you to begin to see how you will begin to show up for yourself, how you begin to open your heart and your mind for clarity, to begin to define what you truly want out of life, and allowing that decision to be the one that will be dominating your thoughts when you wake up in the day. You take good care of yourself. You take good care of your thoughts by waking up with good words of affirmation that will position you in that space of who you want to see yourself. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you becoming? What is that story you want to tell yourself about today? That today I am what are those projects that you want to set for yourself, that between now and this time, I want to set up and anticipate myself doing this, and it is going to happen. Because immediately you take the first step, the universe is going to respond to you. And you'll be surprised and amazed at who you will have become by just taking the first step of believing that you can be who and whatever you have decided to be. I want to sincerely appreciate you, friends, for joining at this moment. For regardless of the short notice that I gave, I want to really appreciate you for joining me, and really, it's something that I'm grateful to. I know when we started, I think we were 4 before this time, and I know for now there are other people that were not able to join. But I want to tell you, dear sister, thank you for joining. I appreciate your time. There's been a very very, how will I put it, interesting season this time we are living in. But the world is not stopping for anybody. The world is not waiting for anybody. In the midst of everything, the clock is still ticking. It's not waiting. That is why you cannot wait. That's why you cannot afford to leave it and say, your life to chances. That's why you cannot allow others to be the one that will be dictating the pace of your progress. That's why you cannot afford to live your life to chances and begin to live by the opinions of others. That is why you have to challenge yourself and tell yourself, this is who I want to become. This is who I am becoming. This is me. And I am not going to allow anything to stop me from my path of progress. Friends, I want to sincerely appreciate you again and to tell you, you are special. You are limitless. And that there is a lot of virtue that your world is waiting for, and that you cannot afford to let your world, because there are lives that are attached to your success, to you getting it in life, to you answering the call, to you seeing yourself beyond just existing for your immediate family needs. Because the world is in need of leaders. The world is in need of role models. The world is in need of people that will take the initiative and take the lead so that others can follow. Are you going to open yourself up to accept that challenge and to begin to see how you can use your life, how you can use everything you have, your position, your influence, and wherever you have seen yourself, use it as an opportunity to lift the banner, to salute and to give praise to your Father and to make God proud? That how will you want God to give your scorecard and say, oh, this is how, and this is who, and this is what has happened to what I gave to my daughter, and I'm so proud of how she used it, how she did it. And at the end of the day, when people will be writing about us, what kind of story? What story will they be sharing? That is one of the most important things that I cherish, that I look forward to. And that is one of the motivation for me to keep going on and never to settle and never to allow anything to put a stop to what I believe to be my best. And so I want to encourage you, go ahead and make your world proud. Your world is waiting. Your future holds great and beautiful promises, and the future holds wonderful opportunities for us. Let's go and do it. Let's make our God proud. Let's make our world proud. Let's decide to take our growth to the next level. And I believe in you, and I love you, and I honor you, and I salute you. Thank you very much. I don't know if anyone has any question or you want to know more about what I do. I actually will just say in the chat box, I will leave the link to my website. You can always connect with me there. I have a coaching and consulting firm, the Data Consulting LLC, where I coach women and aspiring entrepreneurs on how they can become their best, how they can come out of every limiting self-beliefs that have limited them to where they are, that have not been helpful in taking them to where they're supposed to be. And we always take this journey through discovery, development, and the last thing is deployment. When you discover your purpose in life, you will be equipped with the necessary tools and skill that will help you refine and develop it. That is the 2D. Those are the framework with 3D framework. of getting you to your destination in life. And then from that element of skill and proving yourself, you become best at what you are doing. And there's no how. When you add skill to yourself, you will become a commodity that is needed for. And that is always how money takes place. Whenever there is a need, there is a search for a need. And anybody that's willing to meet that need, to provide solution to that need, money will always cross their path. And the last one is deployment. Once you are developed, you will be deployed to your world. And when the world can see what you are made up of, and they can see the answer they are looking for in you and in your product and what you offer, it's a question of time. Money will never be a problem. And you will have succeeded in living your life, doing what you love as your day-to-day job. And you can decide to retire at any time, because you will be living happy, you will be living fulfilled, and every moment you show up, you are showing up from a point of strength and a point of you just doing what you love. You are not seen as a job. You are just living. And that is the ultimate. That is the ultimate. That is where I want to take you to. And I encourage you to come on board. I know there is no how you can stop a moving train that is set to go. You're welcome, Omoteniola, wherever you may be joining me. You can put in the chat where you're joining from. I would love to connect further with you. I was just about rounding up this live broadcast. I actually decided to let you know that we are all the same on this journey, and that there's nobody that is above anybody. Like the same me, the same you, every one of us, we go through the same challenges. Like you, I see myself waking up this morning. I've been to church, I've had some, but I was also going to say, I might not be doing this evening. But do you know, if I have decided not to share the link or even send this invite, I won't be meeting happiness. I won't have met joy and divine favor, and even Omoteniola that just joined now. But I decided, I don't know, I want to tell my innermost Corbin that I will be, from today henceforth, I'm going to be keeping my promise to myself. And that is one of the ways you begin to see growth happen in your life. When you begin to give yourself a promise and you honor, no matter how little, and you tell yourself, every day I'm going to take a walk for 30 minutes around my neighborhood. And you start, if you're not going to do 30 minutes, you just start 10 minutes and you start keeping yourself, you'll be proud of yourself. You will feel fulfilled, you'll be happy. And one of the things that bring happiness is when you are seeing yourself growing. You see yourself, you gave yourself a promise. You told yourself you're going to read a page, you're going to read a book in this month, or at least every day you're going to read a chapter. And you're seeing yourself doing it. You will see that excitement come off naturally. And it's like, it is just as natural. So when you want to see fulfillment, you want your life to be full of fun, begin to see what you can do to grow. And that is why I love the subject of personal development. And I love how we can decide intentionally to add value to ourselves, to invest in yourself. And when I talk about investment, it's good to look good, wear lovely clothes, put on good stuff, and you can never stop anybody from looking good. And it is one of the best. I want to encourage it. Please do so when you have the opportunity. But beyond looking good in the physical, invest in yourself. Invest in your brain. Invest in your mental capacity. Add value to yourself. Add value to yourself. Keep up to seeing the fact that you are not who you were at the beginning of this year till now. Constantly striving for improvement, continuous development, continuous improvement about your life. If there's any skill you see, you will be making you valuable in the coming days, because we are seeing the trends. The world is changing. Everything is tending towards IT. The handwriting of the world is that if we don't begin to move with the times and the science and the season, we don't want to be left behind. And that is why we've got to make up our mind to begin to see what are those skills that we need to deliberately go and learn, to go and get our finger dirty on, to learn on YouTube or Udemy or anywhere, to just go and learn it so that we can become more refined and we can become better than where we are now. That is the whole. That is, I have 5 minutes to round off. And I don't know, Omoteniola, I would love to connect with you further. I just shared at the earlier part of this broadcast. I was a year older yesterday, and part of the culture of what I do in the spirit of giving back to my community, I would always decide to come with a teaching or a training or just a short talk on just to encourage ourselves as women to see how we can make our life more better than just running helter-skelter, taking care of our husband, our children, and then walking. And some of the time, by the time you walk, you get to the career, you get to the top of the crescendo of your career, and you can begin to feel a kind of a feeling of unfulfillment. Like it's like you have wasted part of your years. And when the time comes and their nest starts getting empty, and that's where the frustration sets in for a lot of women. Now begin to say, oh, the children have gone. What will I be doing? Oh, now I'm resigned. Oh, now I'm retired. What will I spend my life, the rest of my life doing? And I don't want anybody to experience that because I've been there before. I've been there before. There was a time I was working a night shift, and in the morning when I come back, my children are all gone to school, my husband, everybody, I'll be alone in the house. And I'll just look at them and say, okay, I have a car, I have a job, I have everything, and the children are doing fine. So is it the end of my life? Is this how life is going to end for me in the US? Or what are those other things? What is the meaning of life? What does it really mean to live? You know, and that existential thoughts began to open me up to see that, oh, what are those things that I love to do? And that was why I started connecting. Somebody like me, and a people person, I love to meet people. I love to interact. I love to make friends. I love to share. And I started to see that the only way I can make meaning, if I continue to do that 9 to 5 where I'm locked up in one laboratory, in one cubicle where I'm just pressing computer today, I might not be in fulfilling the real core of who I am. And I started, just like a play, I started the YouTube channel. And I got into the world of personal development. I was trained by top coaches here in the States. And that was how I got the motivation to start. And like play, I've had clients that have paid from Canada, here in the US, New York, Jersey, Philadelphia, even someone from the East Africa. And it was just something I started like a passion. But like I said, I have a program, and I would like to have everybody that wants to have it free. You can connect with me on www.dataconsulting. Have a 30 minutes what have you, to just share. Let me just put it in the chat, and you can just connect with me there on my website. So do you know, I want a picture whereby we can together secure, in a very secured environment, be our best to our world, and still be able to find fulfillment in whatever we decide to do. And even when we find our job, we have all the money, we are not trapped. We are not trapped with, okay, we are not, all right, awesome. Thank you, Omoteniola. So, okay, that's my website. You can connect with me there, and we can always have a, you can always have a 30 minutes, I have a Calendly session there where we can book one-on-one free coaching and consulting. We just talk, chat, and then see how we can connect together, because I believe there is more that we can do together if we just keep the cord, keep going. And you will be surprised. You will be surprised and amazed. And I want to thank you very much for joining. I want to appreciate you for just seeing that short caption, and just believing that it's possible. I'm so grateful. I'm deeply grateful. You made my day. And for divine favor that joined, and joy and happiness, and everyone that will get to watch it later on. I'm so happy. And I just want to encourage you that don't ever mind your little day of little beginning. A lot of people, why they will not go and pursue their dream, they don't want people to see them small. They don't want people to, it's just only 4 people that showed up. What is your problem? And you say you are doing live broadcast. Oh, you have not serious yet, but I want to let you know that it is just that small beginning. Like I shared earlier, this small thing took me to White House earlier this year that I least expected, to the conference hall, to the speakers of the House of Assembly in the United States. This same me, from this corner of my house, I got that invitation. So I want to encourage you, friend, whatever desire you have, you can bring it to birth. It's possible. We can stop the imposter. We can take a lead and shut the noise that is going on in our brain, and begin to listen to that inner voice that is inside, that can help us get to the best and reposition us to where we're going to be. This is 7 o'clock. Yes, let me end there. But definitely, I will look forward to having you. Yeah, I will look forward to having you. Let me just put my number 2443 649. We can take the conversation further. But I'm so happy to you can connect with me on my phone. Thank you. Bye. Thank you very much. So this is where I'm going to be stopping today's broadcast. I want to say again, Everyone that joined, I'm so grateful. I appreciate you. I believe in you. I believe in your future. I know you are limitless. I know you have a potential given to you. I know you have that part of you that is waiting, that the world is waiting to be celebrated. And I tell you, if you don't give up on that dream, it is going to become a reality. I love you. Go and make it happen. And let's connect and let's collaborate and let's keep the code. Coaching, consistency, and consulting. These are the three things that will help us. And don't forget, if nobody believes in you, believes in yourself, believe in yourself, you can and you will make it. Thank you. Bye.